Well, we definitely appreciate you coming through. Definitely love the music. Dope artist. Definitely appreciate you coming through and co-hosting as always.
Anytime.
Definitely.
You know you my girl.
So we're gonna have to talk about that modeling thing in a little bit. You know, maybe
Okay.
work out something. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening tonight. It's the Happy Hour on Be Exposed Radio. Make sure you check us out every Thursday, 7 to 9.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Late.
Hello, world. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to Gangsta Goddess Radio. This is your Gangsta Goddess, Tracie Jiggetts, the mother of truth, your thug unicorn, your magical Negro, all things sugar and spice. And I am here live in the studio. Please go to YouTube, BeExposedRadio.com, Gangsta Goddess Radio. Just type it in. You can go to BeExposedRadio.com to listen in, and you can call us at 410-702-5657. We have a great show for you. I have two amazing authors in the studio, and we are, and let me tell y'all what. Gangsta Goddess Radio, we are bringing the male energy today. Yes, we got the brothers representing. You know, I love to hear their perspective, so I'm excited about that, and you should be too. So it is a beautiful day in Baltimore, and the weather it's nice. It's a little breeze going on. I'm feeling it. I'm out here in shorts and whatnot showing off, but it's all good. So it has been quite a week. I thank everyone who tuned in and continued to contact me throughout the week about Jay Reed, who was our author, awesome guest last week. So again, keep looking, stay out there. And the gentleman that I'm going to introduce you first today, he goes by the name of Mervin A. Bourne Jr. Can you say what's up to the people?
How's everybody doing?
All right, we're going to get you to talk in the mic. Yes, so they can hear that. Good job. So, see, you can see yourself. Say hi. Yeah, see, we we are here. So I can't wait to get it. The title of the book alone caught me. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get into this because I happen to be a mother to a very young son. You all know baby Truth. So we are going to, I have a host of questions that I know other ladies have. So I can't wait to get into that. Our other author for this hour is Mr. Haikeem Stokes, and he will be joining us in the next segment. So I just want you to call a friend, tell somebody that knows somebody that Gangsta Goddess Radio is live and in full effect, and we are bringing you some literary gems, okay? We're going to read, we're going to expand our minds, our consciousness, and I'm here for it. So why don't you start, Mr. Mervin A. Bourne Jr. He told me say all of it, y'all. So I'm gonna say all of it. Yeah. So, so why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
Thank you. Well, my name is Mervin A. Bourne Jr.
You gotta get in there.
How's that?
Good.
Good. I'm the author of A Single Mother's Guide to Raising a Son, and it's a book that I wrote to hopefully change the landscape of single parenting by mothers of sons throughout the world. It was inspired by my life first and foremost, but also through vast life experiences that I've had, both growing up in Plainfield, New Jersey, but also moving on through different stages of life, both professional and personal, through the criminal justice system, the social services system. In New Jersey, it's called the Division of Youth and Family Services, or DYFS. And they are, they have become notorious for some great things and some not so good things. But I learned a lot working there for several years as an attorney with DYFS. I went to Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland.
Shout out Morgan. Yay. Yes, go Bears.
So I had a very, very life-changing experience there. Playing football.
Okay.
So I moved on from there. I had an experience in corporate America, working for one of the world's largest technology companies at that point. Went to law school and then began practicing law. So being myself raised by a single mother and being a first-generation college student and being the first one in my family to do many, many things. And both of my parents, by the way, were immigrants. That also was an element that added to my experiences. I knew that what I had gone through, what I had seen, a lot of it was good, but a lot of it was bad. And I also began to see that the higher up I went, the less there were in terms of people of color, and also just in terms of males who looked like me. The numbers decrease.
Yes.
The more you do in life, the more places you go in life. But just on a broader landscape, I started to observe that there was just a lot of mediocrity and average in terms of behavior and accomplishments that has kind of become the norm. And I also noticed that single parenthood has also become the norm. And at least 80-90% of the time, single parents are mothers. And so I was not comfortable with the idea that single mothers had to raise mediocre children, especially mediocre sons.
Okay, let me jump in there and ask you a question, because you say mediocre.
Yes.
What does that mean to you? Can you dive into what that is?
To me, that means falling short of your potential.
Okay.
Whatever it may be. So I believe that everyone is born to achieve great things in whatever field they specialize in, whatever area of life they go into. And it could be more than one area.
Okay.
I really don't believe that there's just a very few select people that are here to impact the world, and everyone else is maybe
just chilling.
Just chill, or just be a bystander. And we have a society with a lot of bystanders right now, but it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And so what I believe and what I state throughout the book is that we should be raising a society of children who believe that they are here with a purpose. And our parents, who now are primarily mothers, need to be raising their children, especially their sons, to be purpose-driven boys who will then become purpose-driven men.
Purpose-driven boys who become purpose-driven men. I am here for it. You are speaking to obviously something that's close to all of our hearts. It's not just me as a mother, because you have to live in a society with everyone. So you have people who, like you say, are not reaching their full potential. And you definitely said that was your definition of mediocre, just existing, not reaching far beyond. But my question is now, why do you think, how did we get here? How do we get to this state where, or has it always been, but now it is so with the social media and the media in general, they're able to highlight things that have been going on for years. We just didn't know about it. So where do you think that comes from? How did we get here?
Well, we moved away as a society, particularly in America. We moved away from a society where having two parents in the home was the norm.
Okay.
And now we're to the point where that's actually abnormal. And as single parenthood increased, it just became more and more socially acceptable, to the point where you have certain groups of people that don't even aspire to raise children with another person. So I think that's how we got here, and for better or for worse.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. I have so many more questions. I was just scratching the surface. This is Gangsta Goddess Radio on BeExposedRadio.com. This is Tracie. Please call. I need y'all to talk to Mr. Mervin A. Bourne Jr. 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403. This is Gangsta Goddess Radio on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, it's Marnie, the executive producer here at BeExposedRadio.com, and I'm here to talk about my show. I know, how selfish, right? Talk Lately with me, Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So what do we talk about on this show? I can tell you this. There has never been a show that I have gotten completely through the full agenda because our topics, our conversations are just that damn good. I cover politics, gossip, entertainment, and hey, I love a good panel discussion. Hey, get a group of people in here and let us debate it out. That is the best thing in the world. Not to mention, I take calls and texts, and I'll debate with you too. So why don't you get involved and be heard? What's that old adage? Closed mouths don't get fed. That says it all. So join me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Call me at 410-702-5657. You can text at 443-642-9403. And don't forget to be heard and vote in our weekly poll right on the website. Check it out.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So we're going to get a little bit into the album with Miss Amira and learn the basis of it, the Banji soul of it all.
Yes.
So let us know, first of all, what is Banji soul?
Banji soul is basically just real. It's real soul. It's real. It's not cut down. It's not watered down. It's, you know, how as hot as it came off of my mind and my heart. That's what it is. And a lot of the times I get a little tangy, you know, tangy, bangy, ratchet, whatever, how you like to put it, classify it. But I like to say banji, you know, because I'm classy.
Banji is a little classier.
It's a little classier. That's got your pinky up. You got your pinky up with that.
Okay, we got to keep the bees, the bougie, the banji.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello, world. Welcome back to Gangsta Goddess Radio with your girl, Tracie Jiggetts. We are in the house with Mr. Mervin A. Bourne Jr., and he has a book, and it is called A Single Mother's Guide to Raising a Son. So I'm just going to jump out there. I happen to be a mother, yes, toddler, 2 years old. So he's, you know, just starting out. My journey has just begun. That's my first and my only. Okay. Yes, I got to say that again to the universe. First that is only. The only one, because I can never do that again. No, as of every day, that is some foolishness. And people are having more than one, and they out here, all right, we're going, okay, let me move on. So, and I am... He was even conceived in a very unconventional way. Okay. And I am now, it is me and him, right? So not that the father is not in his life. He definitely has, his father is there, but we are no longer in a relationship. So, and this happens.
It happens often.
All the time. Yep. So is this something, because when you say that we're here because we have moved away from the two-parent household, in your mind, is that the white picket fence, mom and dad living together, or do you see that it can work outside of that?
It can work outside of that. It's just a lot more difficult.
Okay.
So it takes two people who both have the same goal in mind for the children or the child. Two people who are both mature enough to make decisions that are sacrificial, because as we all know, anyone who has children knows that to do it right requires an immense amount of sacrifice.
Yes.
Right. So, you know, anyone can have children, but there's lots of different ways of parenting children, and there's different qualities to parenting children. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So you are an advocate of stay together. Y'all miserable. I don't like you. You don't like me, but we got these children. So we gotta hold on.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would never promote misery.
Okay.
I think every person in a relationship should bring their own happiness to the relationship to enhance the relationship. And each of us has our individual issues that need to be worked on. And I think that if each person in a relationship is on a journey to work on their own issues, to be introspective, which a lot of people have a problem doing.
That's work.
It is work.
That is hard, but it's not easy.
It can be ugly work, but it's necessary work, because that's how we grow. That's how we grow as individuals. That's how we grow in human relationships. Definitely. And that's how relationships blossom and mature.
So we are doing introspective work, and even if you are not in the same household, but you are holding down a what I call co-parenting situation, so both sides are equally yoked. It's not no I do everything or you do everything. How can this book help me? Is there still some things that I can learn?
Tons.
Okay.
Tons that everyone can learn. But especially, I wrote the book for women who are raising sons in particular. And I got the question pretty often, why didn't you write a book for men? Why are you writing a book telling women what they should and should not be doing?
That was one of my questions too. But go ahead.
This question is often asked by women. And
who you think you is? How you just know what I'm okay, go ahead.
Well,
That's how we do.
To me, it's pretty simple. All the statistics say that 80 to 90% of single parent households are headed by women. So if you could write one book, would you write it for the 90% or would you write it for the 10%? And to me, it didn't make much sense to write it for the 10%. I wrote it for the 90. And, so for the most part, women are shouldering the burden of raising children. So that's why it made more sense to do this for you all, but especially not just for raising children in general, but for raising boys. Because one of the things that may or may not be evident is that a woman will never be what she's trying to raise that boy to be, which is a man.
That's true.
So I also looked at it from the perspective of if I were to ever become a single parent and I have a daughter, one of the first things I would want to do is seek the wise counsel of women who I trusted, because I acknowledged immediately that there are certain things that I will never know. I will never know what they feel like. And one of which is being a young lady and being a woman. I will just never know. So why not seek the knowledge and the information from someone who has been what you're raising, which is a boy who has gone through adolescence, gone through high school, been a young man, and has had to make his way in this world as a man.
Okay, so you said, just to take it back, you said that your mother was a single parent.
Yes.
And that experience, definitely, I'm sure it inspired you and gave you lessons. What do you think her main obstacle was? What's the main thing? Because we talked about definitely, I'm never going to be a man. I can't break down and show you certain things. So I have to seek out that in other places. But other than that, what are the obstacles that single mothers are facing that are causing the men not to reach their potential?
Right. So it depends on what situation you're starting from in terms of being a single mother. So my mother was married, then was separated and got divorced. I was in the 7th or the 8th grade. So she had the experience of being married, having my father in the household, and then having him be gone with 2 boys to raise by herself. Right, 2 boys, not just one. So her goal at that point was to figure out a way for us to be successful. And in her mind, the number one way to do that was to push education, but also to focus on the quality of men that we would become. So, she really put a lot of emphasis on, making us well-rounded, making sure we were self-sufficient, making sure we could cook, take care of ourselves.
That's what I was gonna say. You can cook, you can clean,
absolutely.
You can fold clothes.
She raised us in a way that there's nothing that we can't do. And awesome. I didn't know at the time, but that was very intentional on her part. And so I knew at a very young age that I had to get an education because that was very important to her. And I knew she couldn't afford to send me to college. So I also felt like I need to make sure I can figure out a way to get there, whether it's through athletics, academics, or some combination of both.
Okay, so did you make it hard? Were you something else out there? Like you was wilding out, mama was up at night pacing the floors. What was going on?
No, I actually, with my father being gone, I felt like I wanted to be as little a burden to my mother as possible because I saw everything she was going through with that. So I essentially went out of my way to be a non-issue and to kind of try to figure out what she wanted me to do without her even saying it, and just do it.
It's pretty awesome. You better go. Yes, Mom. Yes, I love it. So there is hope.
Absolutely.
Yes, because where we are is this, we don't have to stay there. And it is through learning and getting books like A Single Mother's Guide to Raising a Son, because there is so much information out there and so many people. You mentioned seeking out the wisdom of women, but it is very important to seek out the wisdom of men. There's this video going around on Facebook of the, I want to say mixed martial arts, jujitsu, one of those things, but he is the teacher and he's explaining to a student, look, your father's not here with some sort of initiation. Okay. He was saying, your father's not here, but I've invited this person from the community who said he'll stand up, and I'll invite this person, and this is your friend. And they say they got your back. It was very moving. I cried for like 15 minutes. Have you seen it? Oh, it's all, I'm gonna show it to you on the next break. It is really something, but the impact of, even though, especially young people who have no relationship with their father, knowing that there's somebody there who can take that, not take the place, but who can assist in the journey.
Right, that's critical.
Okay.
It's critical. I break the book down into 4 major segments, and one of them involves, is dedicated to mentoring, and it goes right in line with what you just talked about. Mentoring is critical. A boy has to see other boys who are a little bit older than him, who are a little bit older than that, who are young men, and who are mature men, so he can see what men should look like at that stage. And there's all different kinds of ways to look. There's not just one mold or model or type. There's not just one profession, but he can glean manhood from all those examples, because his mother can never show him manhood. And a lot of times, in an attempt to show boys what women think manhood is, the wrong message is sent. So, for example, women, people in general, associate strength with manhood. Yes. So that could cause a mom to be not compassionate with her son, or to be excessively hard on her son, which is in her mind making him a man, when being uncompassionate and cold and callous, that's not manhood.
And I see that a lot. You better not cry. You better not just holding back. I've seen mothers flip out, regular adolescent behavior, but because you're a boy, you better not do that.
Exactly, because that's a woman trying to impart on her son her feminine interpretation of what manhood is. So in turn, like with starting out with good intentions, you can actually be harmful to your son. So that's an example of where him having an interaction or a relationship with men, men can teach him, and then in turn, his mother can teach him that men, real men, are compassionate. They do have emotion. They do understand how to process their feelings and process their emotions to get them out in a positive way or in a constructive way. And that's what boys have to be taught. So that's just one example of why mentorship is so critical.
I hope you were listening, especially my ladies, gentlemen as well. If you know someone who can benefit from the knowledge in this book, A Single Mother's Guide to Raising a Son, can you let the people know where and how they can find you? Yes. Mr. Mervin A. Bourne Jr. I said all of that. Let the people know where you are.
You can find me on Twitter at Mervin Bourne. That's MERVIN BOURNE. On Facebook at facebook.com/Mervin A. Bourne Jr., all one word, or on my website, mervinbourne.com.
All right. If you have any questions, if anything that Mervin A. Bourne Jr. has said and you want to talk about it, 410-702-5657, or you can text us at 443-642-9403. We are here on Gangsta Goddess Radio. I do have a few more questions for you. I do need to remind everyone that our open house is August the 20th from 12 to 5. here at 110 East Lexington Street on BeExposedRadio.com. The open house is your time to come and not only promote your business, not only to promote, but also to talk and meet with like-minded people in the community. You can meet all of the station hosts. August 20th. That's a Saturday, 12 to 5. You should be there. We are also going to celebrate our 10-year anniversary. Be Exposed Radio has been here for 10 years. What? Make some noise. Yes. Yes. My engineer's on. Yes. For the hand clap. We got that. Yes. Okay. So, 10-year kickoff. We are going to be at How at the Moon on August the 26th. That is 6 to 10. If you like music, if you like live music, if you like Be Exposed Radio, I need you to come out and show your support. We've been doing this for 10 years, good people, and we're going to keep rocking on, especially with good people like Mr. Mervin A. Bourne Jr., who came in. So tell us when, if I'm like, I need this book, when can I get it?
Within the next 3 weeks, you will be able to get this book on Amazon.com and also through my website, mervinbourne.com.
mervinbourne.com. People, go to the website, stay posted. We will actually remind you, and I will let the listeners know, because I will follow, yes, the Twitter sphere, all that's going on. And when it is available, ladies, we're going to talk about it, because then I want us to dive in and read and talk about it. So we're going to have you back if you're willing to come and talk to the ladies.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we are going to go to a very quick break. When we come back, I have some questions about the system. Yes, because there is many women with the question, should I not? What is going on? So we're going to talk about the system and get a little bit more into a single mother's guide to raising a son. This is Gangsta Goddess Radio on BeExposedRadio.com.
In the forest, can you see this? And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by
Check
the
out
U.S.
this
Forest
flashback
Service
of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Joining us right now is Mr. Antonio Long. He was one of our first See Baltimore artists. That tour is actually under construction, and we're doing some revamping and making sure the foundation is solid.
Yes.
So we haven't forgotten about it. So December, we kind of took a pause, and we'll be back up and running in January. My mind is gone. Food. I need food. If you're in the downtown Baltimore area and you have a cheeseburger in your hand, definitely stop past the studio. Give me a call and let me know where you are, and I'll meet you wherever you are. But Antonio Long is joining us in the building. He's a singer, inspirational, not necessarily gospel, not necessarily R&B, but encompass of both of them.
Yeah.
So let us know a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Singer, writer, recording artist. And I just like to make good music.
There we go.
From Baltimore.
So possibly we'll hear a little bit of it live if he's not afraid, because we throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
Talent wise.
No doubt.
On this show. We got to see if you got the chops to sink or swim.
Okay.
We do it. We do it. We don't hold back here. We don't hold back here. But we'll definitely try to hear from him a couple more segments. So let us know about your music. So do you have an EP coming out, or is it one in the making?
I just released the EP actually October 28th.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Life. Yeah.
So what was it like making that?
It was fun. This is my first it's 8 songs on the project.
Okay.
So it's kind of a little more lengthy than your typical EP. But I put out a mixtape last year, but this is my first official project.
Okay.
Everything else has been singles. So
you're singing your own music now?
I'm singing my own music.
Did you write it?
All original music. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was fun. The creative process was fun. I worked with Junior Lee.
Okay.
With Faith Junkie Productions. He's based out of Delaware.
Okay.
And it was fun. I was going up there. 2-3 times.
It was business because it's your money on the line.
Definitely.
Right.
No major labels.
Yeah, no doubt. It was fun. It gave me. It's more work than what I expected. Honestly, because
you're doing a bunch of different. You're writing and the performer in it, so that's 2 big jobs right there.
Yeah, it was definitely. But creatively, it was great. It was great collaborations. I also worked with Anthony Johnson. He produced a song off of the EP. He's from Virginia, and I worked with So For Real Productions.
You deal with some legit individuals. Okay.
Yeah. So.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello, world. Welcome back to Gangsta Goddess Radio. This is Tracie Jiggetts. We are live in the studio. Please go to BeExposedRadio.com. Go to YouTube. Type in Gangsta Goddess Radio so you can see this live happening in real time. Like it's a few seconds delay. Let me not lie. But we getting it in and we are here. Thank you to everyone who's listening. We are in the studio. Of course, we have been speaking with Mervin A. Bourne Jr., but now I am joined by author number 2. We are popping in here. Mr. Haikeem Stokes.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Say hello to the people. You guys get in. Yeah, let them know.
What's up, Baltimore? How you doing? Baltimore stand up.
Baltimore. So where are you from?
I'm from South Philly. I'm a South Philly native.
Philly.
All day.
Okay,
Early.
so what brings you here? You have any ties to Baltimore? You got some family?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
I've probably been frequenting the area since maybe late 90s, something like that. Very familiar with the area, North Avenue, everything, everything in between,
Excellent. So everybody say Baltimore, they say North Avenue. Everybody know that North Avenue.
God know North Avenue.
Yes.
That's the corridor.
No matter where I go, I say Baltimore. Somebody going to bust out. Oh, North Avenue. I've been there. Like, okay, I hear you. We have a caller, ladies and gentlemen. Who do I have on the line? Is this a psych engineer? Are you playing with my heart? Are you playing with my spirit?
She gone.
She gone?
She gone.
Well, call back, please,
Tell her call back.
Yeah, please call back. We miss you. We want you. We want to speak to you. So,
right.
Haikeem Stokes, you are an author.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you write?
Because it releases the essence from the soul. It's everything that you have inside of you, your imagination, your power, your strength, your creativity, everything about you, your aura, it's everything inside of you. You just, let it flow through a pen and get your creation on.
Well, I like that. He said the essence, and you got to get it out. I feel like we should have lit a candle or something. Was y'all here for that? I got the wine. We chilling. Caller, you have called back, and we are so happy you did. You are on Gangsta Goddess Radio. Who am I speaking with?
This is Rico.
She did what?
This is Rico.
Rico.
Yes.
Talk to me.
All right, so I have a question for Mervin, Mervin Bourne.
Okay, Mervin Bourne, you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
All right, talk to us.
All right, so the question is this. If a man grew up without a father and he's now married, should he stay in that marriage with kids? Should he stay in that marriage to make sure that his children do not grow up without a father in their life? Or we say that the man should do what's best for family, even if that's moving away?
It's a very good question. Excellent question, actually. So a couple things. One, in difficult marriages, there is a lot that children can learn from watching if and how their parents can work through the issues in the marriage, and as opposed to immediately running away or walking away from the relationship, whether they're married or not. So a lot of what boys never learn and then become men who still have not learned it is the art of conflict resolution, and also the art of assessing a situation, stepping back, analyzing it unemotionally, and then making a wise decision about the situation. And so if as a father or a husband, you can conduct yourself in a way where you can be an example of those things for your children, then it is worth it to stay in the marriage. If, however, you cannot do that, and by staying in the marriage, you're repeatedly just being, a demonstration of, violence and anger and hostility, and surrounding your kids with that environment, that's very unhealthy. And you will be implanting, negativity into your kids, and that will carry with them through adulthood.
Wow. Rico, is that the answer you were looking for?
You know what? Yeah, it was, but it's a tough pill to swallow. But I got a good one, and but sometimes it can get bumpy. So I heard about a book that Mr. Bourne got, and I just wanted to hear his perspective on a situation like this, because a lot of brothers, want to get to a certain age as a man, start to have a family, but then sometimes it's quick. You can quickly abort the situation because, like, we're a different generation. Like, we didn't grow up like our parents grew up, where they were in a marriage. Today, society sometimes is quick for us just to hit the door and not really think about, the damage that we could leave behind if we were to leave, our family. So I appreciate perspective.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you, Rico, for calling in. Any last words for Rico?
Yeah, thanks for the question. If you can teach your son by being an example to him the importance of being a goal-oriented child and having self-worth, and also demonstrating for that child the difference between loving the child and spoiling the child, and instilling in them that they are not entitled to anything, the world does not owe them anything, then you have done that child a great service. And that boy will grow up to become a man who is accountable, who is responsible, and who is goal-oriented. And therefore, he will be successful in achieving whatever it is he aspires to achieve.
I like it. Now, Rico, go out there and change the world. Just go out there and do something. Jump in there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for calling.
Thanks for calling,
keep listening, because now I want to hear from. Thank you, Rico. Have a great evening.
Yes.
Yes. Now I want to hear from Mr. Haikeem Stokes in the studio, and since we are talking about that male energy, and of course, Mr. Bourne's book, Mr. Bourne, let me tell. Okay, wait a minute, I'll tell you about that later. Okay, right. So A Single Mother's Guide to Raising a Son, and we have Haikeem Stokes, and you have a book that is called The Purple Orchard Syndrome.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell our listeners about the book?
Yes, sister. It was a project, and I had the heart-wrenching experience of interviewing 12 men between the ages of 21 and 71. And I just asked them candid questions about growing up without a father in the household. And unfortunately, out of that 12, it was only 2 young men that grew up in the household with a father and their mother with, whereas though they coexisted and they were married and you know, built a family. But the other 10 individuals, their situation was very heartening. There was a lot of painful experiences, and they gave it all up in that book.
Well, that is, where did the project come from? Where was it? How did it come about that you said, I'm going to do this?
Well, unfortunately, I grew up with that experience of pretty much growing up in a household without a father, or without a mentor, without a father figure. And I got everything from my mother. You know, my mother was the strong parent, the strong individual that raised me and my 2 siblings to be, you know, the men that we are today.
All boys?
All boys.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a superwoman, you know, God rest her soul. And I got everything else from the streets, unfortunately, you know, well, from old heads around the way and teachers and actually television shows. I did a lot of reading on parenting and how a man should be upright in society. What's a man's role in society? You know, you read the Bible and see what's a man's role in the household, in society, and how you should live.
Okay, well, that is wonderful, and how appropriate to have you both here on the same day.
No doubt.
Because the stories are similar, and you have used that as you have turned it into a victory. So I think that's awesome, and you're also sharing with the world. And speaking of the world, we have a caller live and in full effect. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Gangsta. It's Sequoia.
Oh my goodness, Sequoia. Sequoia is one of our favorite listeners. Sequoia, are you listening in? Do you love what is happening here in the studio today?
I like what's going on in the studio. I have a little ADHD going on. Mr. Bourne has really, he's ruffled my feathers a little bit, but I appreciate the things that you know that some of the things that he's saying, and I may have misunderstood some things. The first thing, just with the 2-parent household, I know that as a single parent who has raised a young man now, he's 21, he'll be 22 next month. It's not easy doing it on your own. I did start off being married. It did not work out. And when a marriage ends, I don't think that the other half should leave the children, but quite often that is what happens, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Outside of, if you have the wherewithal and the wisdom to know to maybe, you know, figure out some of the things that your child may like to do. My son was not athletic at all. He was into the arts. So I allowed him to do those things. I do agree that they also need mentors. But the one thing that I want to talk about that Mr. Bourne is not, he didn't speak on, but I know that he can because he is a man.
All right.
Young girls, they also need men in their lives to show them as well. And that was not touched on. I do know that women cannot raise a boy alone. I can't show him how to be a man. And I have been one who has said, don't you cry, man up, you know, based on my perception of what I thought a man should be. But also I have a daughter as well, and I was also raised by a single parent. And I do feel like, as an adult, that there were things that I accepted from men that I probably wouldn't have if I had a good example of a man or a father that, you know, nurtured me and showed me what love was.
So are you waiting for a response now? We didn't know
whether
you was done. We were waiting.
Yes, I'm finished. That was it.
Okay. So we're going to have both authors speak. Mr. Mervin, what do you think?
Well, the question raises the necessity of balance in raising children. Masculine energy and feminine energy are different energies. And as a society, I think we've lost an appreciation for how those different energies are both equally valuable, equally important, but also complementary to each other. So both girls and boys need the balance of both energies. The reason I chose to focus on women raising men is because as a man, I could speak most directly to that. But also I recognize from the onset that my message delivering to women, there would be some pushback about that because the relationships between men and women in our society are very fractured. A lot of times women have a very difficult time receiving messages from men for lots of reasons. So
Did you hear that, Sequoia?
I knew that.
Oh yeah, it's deep. You got some deep-rooted issues over here. I'm not gonna lie, it is, and it shouldn't be, but it is. He's telling the truth.
That is the reality. So I knew that for my very first book, the best thing to do would be to speak directly to what would be coming from my personal experience and what being a man I could speak to the most directly. So in terms of the value of a man in a girl's life and a young lady's life, that can be a completely different book. It's not something completely altogether could be a completely different book. But the caller is absolutely right. It is critical. Just as men need the energy of both parents, young girls also need the energy of both parents. And if for whatever reason she doesn't have a woman and a man as a parent, those roles can be played by many different people who the responsible parent will bring into that child's life.
So we talked about seeking out the mentors and so forth. So Mr. Stokes, is there anything in your book that touches on this, or do you understand what the caller is saying? Do you believe that there is a need for both energies?
Definitely. Because it takes two to procreate. It takes a male and a female to procreate. So this definitely takes a male and a female, or husband and wife, whatever the situation may be, to raise that child or children.
So with the men that you interviewed for your book, The Purple Orchard Syndrome, did you find that because especially those that did not have a father in their life, were they in good relationships, or did it show later in life that there was some dilemmas?
Yes, unfortunately, they pretty much mirrored their father.
Wow.
They, continued that downward spiral.
It's a cycle.
And it's a vicious cycle, unfortunately. My situation was, and I always speak to people about this, baby, quote unquote, baby daddies and things of that nature. I'm like, well, if you went through that situation, why would you put another child through that situation? Why would you put another human being through that situation? If you went through it, then you should try your damnedest to rectify that situation.
It stops here. It stops with me. So the gentlemen in your book, are they now trying to instill different things in their young people, or it continues?
Pretty much. There were some of them that half of them are like, baby fathers. I hate that term, but it's pretty much
it's real. It is a part of our society right now.
Unfortunately, they're fathering outside the household, so they're with another woman or maybe even married to another young lady, and they're paying support, or they're doing the weekend father thing. So they didn't learn anything, or what they learned they didn't put the good to use, unfortunately.
Okay. So Sequoia, did the gentlemen, did they come through for you this what is it, evening time? Oh Lord. Did they come through for you tonight?
They came through for me, and I am going to be looking out for Mr. Bourne's book on Amazon. And I'm sorry for the other guest, I did not catch your name, but if you tell me how to get Haikeem, Mr. Stokes, if you tell me how to get your book, I will be on it as well.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Haikeem Stokes, Haikeem Stokes. You can reach me at Kindle. You can reach me at Facebook. I mean, I'm on all the media outlets. But you can go to Kindle and receive my book.
Well, stay tuned because he's going to give you all his information right after this break. This is Gangsta Goddess Radio on BeExposedRadio.com.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello, world. Welcome back to Gangsta Goddess Radio. We was tripping during the break. I'm something else. But author Haikeem Stokes. He is the author of The Purple Orchard Syndrome, which he just shared with us, was his interview with men from 21 to 71. Candid questions, gives the ladies and the men some insight on their journey, hopefully to help them. And I'm looking at this other book that jumps out at me, and it is, I love the artwork, Concepts of Intimacy. Concepts of Intimacy. We are here for it. And can you give us a little bit about what that, tell us about the book, and then tell us where we can find you.
Okay, concepts. Oh, well, a little bit about, I'm sorry, real quick about Purple Orchard Syndrome. I'm actually doing a book. That book, I interviewed 12 men, and I asked them 35 questions. I have another 35 questions that I'm asking women on their experience about growing up without women. And the name of that book is going to be The Purple Orchid Effect. And that'll be out in the beginning of the year. It'll be out in January 2017. So look out for
you
that.
got the orchard and the orchid. I know that's right. Okay.
Gotta appease the sisters as well.
Yeah, because we got something to say. Sequoia will call back and let you know.
Oh yeah.
So concepts of intimacy. I want to know about this.
Yeah, concepts of intimacy is I felt this was needed as well because brothers aren't courting the sisters. You know, everything is about a jump off. Everything is about, smashing. Everything is about, late night this and,
I have said that hip hop has declared war on the vagina. It's real. Everything is beat it up, smack it down, throw it. It's just they have declared war. It is so tell us how this can help. Concepts of intimacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Concepts of intimacy will take you through courtship, take you through the steps of courtship through nuptials. So basically it's just showing you how you're supposed to, approach the sister. Well spoken, well dressed, smelling good, well groomed, things of that nature, and actually make her feel like the woman or the queen that she is. You have to make her feel like royalty, because that's absolutely what Black women are.
I like that. Gangsta Goddess.
yeah,
We are
definitely.
here. And I don't know if you gentlemen know real quick, but the Gangsta Goddess, that is that balance that I believe all Black women have to have. Because we have that gangster side, because a lot of times we are the head of households. A lot of times we do have to make away the Black women are we do this, period. So that gangster side, but also that goddess side, that side of recognizing the beauty that you have within. And it's all about that journey. So I'm so happy to have both of you here, because my goal and my purpose is to introduce people everywhere, but I'm specifically for my sisters. How can we help each other? I'm all about community. So both of you have put together some awesome projects. Haikeem Stokes, Purple Orchard Syndrome, Concepts of Intimacy, which is a book of spoken word, which I know a lot of my listeners really love poetry. So tell them how they can find you and where they go for the books.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook. By my name, HAIKEEMSTOKES, and on all the other media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Tango. I'm on there as Asafale Books. That's ASOPHILABOOKS. So you can go on, and you can also go on Kindle, and you can purchase my books off Kindle. You can go under Haikeem Stokes, or you can go under Asafale Books.
And Asafale Books, again, listeners, because I know I would need that spelt again. ASOPHILABOOKS. That's books. Asafalebooks.com. But you can also just go by his name, Mr. Haikeem Stokes, STOKES. Now, these are not your only two books, so you're just out there writing. You on fire. Look, you just can't put the pen down. So tell us about your other, what other books you have?
Well, my first, my infant was I Need You Too, and that was a novel. It spoke of a brother that was realizing the virtues of monogamy. So basically, it's like, unfortunately, when you're a young male, you're searching. You're trying to find what you want. You're trying to see, your likes and your dislikes.
Oh,
and
you just everywhere. Just don't try to sugarcoat it. I'm trying to figure out what. No, you just out there.
But really, sometimes you mess with maybe one or two sisters, or 3 or 4 sisters, and you get a little something from this one. You get a little something from that one. Like, she could cook, but she can't clean. She can clean, but she can't cook. She know how to, be a woman in the streets, but she might not be a lady in the bed. So it's like you might want to mesh different women together
Good luck
and
with
just, create that one woman, but you won't. You can't. So unfortunately, you're just out there searching. And that's what that book, I Need You Too, takes you through. Is a brother that realizes, the virtues of monogamy. I also have my second work was Reality Life Conscious Struggle. And that was a book of spoken word. And that proves the 4 stages of our existence. That's a very good book. That was my first spoken word illustrated. And then I went into another novel, At 12 After, and that's the story of 3 men that grew up together. They were best friends, and unfortunately, they had a tumultuous situation that happened to them at the age of 12, all different, but they were all tragic. And it tells of how their friendship fared in spite of that. And
well, that reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Mystic River, which was wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm just reading the text. If my mother just texts me, close your legs. I am, and you really care for mama. You know what? I got you. I appreciate you. But shout out to my mama. Yes, we love you. She's listening. Okay, so but it's all about this one event that took place in their childhood, and it shaped not only their relationship but their lives.
Yeah.
So anybody who is that sparks your interest, I need you to go and look for Haikeem Stokes. Yes. So we have Reality Life Conscious Struggle. We have At 12 After, the Purple Orchid Syndrome, and Concepts of Intimacy.
And don't forget my third book of spoken word called Ear Elixir.
It's 3 of them in Ear Elixir. So we had Mervin A. Bourne Jr. Thank you so much for coming out. Any parting word? You have about 2 seconds to the people.
We can all raise phenomenal kids. As a single mother, you are capable of raising phenomenal, outstanding, successful young men that can change the world. Believe in them and they will believe in themselves.
Excellent. Haikeem, you going to shout us out? You going to close us out with some words of wisdom?
Hey, be blessed and definitely go out and vote. It is serious this time. I mean, if you never voted before, you need to get out and vote. It is crucial this time. We need to get out and vote, all of us, not just our people, but everyone.
So let's vote. Thank you all for listening. Please tune in next week. I promise you I'm going to have both brothers back because they still have so much to give. This is Gangsta Goddess Radio on BeExposedRadio.com. See you next week.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder.